Before we dive into one of the most powerful speeches in African history, Patrice Lumumba's Tears, Blood and Fire speech that shook Belgium to its core and changed Congo forever, make sure to hit the subscribe button and turn on the notification bell. At Mwaki Insights, we bring you the most riveting stories in geopolitics and history that continue to shape our world today. The Congo, a land of immense beauty. Its landscapes are a testament to nature's grandeur, with lush rainforests, majestic mountains and rivers that carve through the heart of the land. A land of unimaginable wealth. Beneath its surface lie vast reserves of minerals, from gold and diamonds to cobalt and copper, treasures that have drawn the eyes of the world for centuries. But for decades, it was a land shackled by the chains of Belgian colonialism. The Congolese people were subjugated, their lives controlled by foreign powers. From the late 19th century, Belgium's King Leopold II ruled the Congo with an iron fist. His reign was marked by exploitation and cruelty. He treated the Congolese people as his personal property. The land and its inhabitants were seen as mere tools for his enrichment. They were subjected to forced labor. They endured brutal punishments. The daily reality for many was one of suffering and hardship, with little hope for reprieve. Millions died under his oppressive rule. The toll of this exploitation was immense, leaving scars that would last for generations. But even in the darkest of times, the human spirit yearns for freedom. The desire for liberation burned brightly, even when all seemed lost. The seeds of rebellion were sown. In secret meetings and whispered conversations, the dream of a free Congo began to take shape. They were nurtured by the suffering of a people. They yearned for liberation. Leaders like Patrice Lumumba emerged, voices that would rally the people towards a common goal, independence and self-determination. In this crucible of oppression, a leader emerged, Patrice Lumumba. Born in the Katakokombe region of the Kasai province, Lumumba witnessed firsthand the injustices inflicted upon his people. He felt their pain as his own. He refused to remain silent. Lumumba's words resonated with the Congolese people. He spoke of freedom. He spoke of dignity. He spoke of a future free from colonial rule. His voice, strong and unwavering, became a beacon of hope. He was a charismatic orator. He galvanized the masses. His message was clear: independence for the Congo. The struggle for independence gained momentum. The Belgian government, facing mounting pressure, finally yielded. June 30th, 1960, was set as the date for Congo's independence. It was a day many thought they would never see. A day of celebration. A day of hope. The newly elected Congolese parliament convened in Leopoldville, now Kinshasa. The world watched as a new nation was about to be born. King Baudouin of Belgium took the podium. The air crackled with anticipation. He spoke of Belgium's civilizing mission in the Congo. He praised his ancestor, King Leopold II. He spoke of progress and development. But his words rang hollow. They dripped with paternalism. They reeked of colonial arrogance. To the Congolese people, his speech was a slap in the face, a final insult. He failed to acknowledge the suffering inflicted upon them. He failed to offer a genuine apology. Instead, he chose to glorify a brutal past. Tears, blood, and fire. The atmosphere in the room shifted. The tension was palpable, a thick fog of anticipation and unease. A hush fell as Patrice Lumumba, the newly elected Prime Minister of the Congo, rose to deliver his response. He began calmly, his voice steady and measured. He spoke of the suffering endured by his people, the relentless hardships that had been their daily reality for decades. He spoke of the humiliation of colonialism, the degradation and exploitation that had stripped them of their dignity and autonomy. Then his voice rose in a crescendo of righteous anger. His words were no longer just a speech. They were a battle cry, a call to arms against the injustices they had faced. He spoke of the tears, the blood, the countless lives lost in the struggle for freedom, and the fire that had marked Belgian rule, a fire that had burned through their lands and their hearts. leaving scars that would never fully heal. His words cut through the air like a whip. The room erupted, a cacophony of shouts and applause, a collective release of pent-up emotion. Here was a man who refused to be silenced, who stood tall in the face of oppression and dared to speak his truth. A man who dared to speak truth to power, who challenged the status quo with every word he uttered. A man who embodied the hopes and dreams of his people, who carried their aspirations on his shoulders and vowed to lead them to a brighter future. The Serpent in the Garden. Lumumba's speech sent shockwaves across the world. The Western powers, threatened by his defiant stance and his vision for an independent Congo, began to plot his downfall. Belgium, determined to maintain its grip on the Congo's vast resources, saw Lumumba as an obstacle to be removed. The CIA, fearing Lumumba's perceived communist leanings, saw an opportunity to further their Cold War agenda. A conspiracy was hatched. A plot to assassinate Lumumba began to take shape in the corridors of power. A legacy forged in blood. Lumumba was betrayed by those he once considered allies. He was arrested. He was tortured. He was executed on January 17, 1961. His body was dissolved in acid, an attempt to erase him from history. But Lumumba's assassination only served to solidify his status as a martyr for African liberation. His name became synonymous with the struggle against colonialism. His words echoed across the continent, inspiring generations of activists and revolutionaries. The Echoes of Lumumba. Lumumba's legacy transcended the borders of the Congo. His words resonated with oppressed people around the world. He became a symbol of resistance against injustice. His image adorned murals and posters from the streets of Soweto to the campuses of American universities. His writings, infused with his revolutionary spirit, became required reading for those seeking to dismantle the structures of oppression. Lumumba and the Geopolitics of Betrayal. Lumumba's assassination exposed the brutal reality of Cold War politics. It revealed the West's willingness to sacrifice democracy and human rights in the pursuit of strategic interests. The Congo, rich in resources, became a pawn in a global power struggle. Lumumba's vision of a truly independent Congo, free from foreign interference, was shattered. The unquenchable spirit of resistance. Despite the tragedy of Lumumba's assassination, his spirit lived on. Across Africa, the struggle for liberation intensified. New leaders emerged, inspired by Lumumba's sacrifice. Colonial powers, facing increasing pressure, were forced to grant independence to their African colonies. The tide of history had turned. Lumumba's dream unfinished symphony. Patrice Lumumba, the first Prime Minister of the Democratic Republic of Congo, envisioned a nation free from the chains of colonialism and exploitation. His dream was not just for political independence, but for a Congo where every citizen could thrive in peace and prosperity. Lumumba's dream of a free and prosperous Congo remains unfulfilled. Despite the rich natural resources and the vibrant culture, the country has struggled to achieve the vision Lumumba had for it. The country has been plagued by conflict, corruption, and foreign exploitation. These challenges have hindered progress and development, leaving many Congolese people in a state of perpetual struggle. But the Congolese people have never given up hope. They have shown remarkable resilience and determination in the face of adversity. Their spirit remains unbroken, and their desire for a better future continues to drive them forward. They continue to fight for the vision that Lumumba so eloquently articulated. Young activists, inspired by his words, take to the streets, demanding justice and equality. They hold signs bearing his quotes, a testament to his enduring influence. His legacy serves as a reminder that the struggle for justice is ongoing. Lumumba's life and work are celebrated by many, and his memory is kept alive through stories, songs, and commemorations. It is a call to action for all those who believe in a world free from oppression and exploitation. Activists from all walks of life come together, united by a common goal, to create a society where everyone can live with dignity and freedom. The tears, the blood, and the fire of Lumumba's speech continue to ignite the flames of resistance. His powerful words resonate through the generations, inspiring new waves of activists to take up the cause. His memory serves as a beacon of hope for a better future. As the Congolese people look towards the horizon, they carry with them the legacy of Lumumba, planting seeds of change and nurturing the dream of a brighter tomorrow. Patrice Lumumba's tears, blood, and fire speech was not just a speech, it was a seismic shift in the fight for Congo's independence. It revealed the true face of colonialism to the world and inspired countless others to rise up against oppression. To this day, Lumumba's defiance reminds us of the cost of freedom. If this story inspired you, don't forget to subscribe, like, and share the video to keep these powerful histories alive.